Hello all, we are going to see about classical trade theories in international business. So the basis of international trade is difference in real cost of production in different theories. So there are some 5 assumptions under classical trade theories. The first one is there are two countries producing two goods. The size of the economies of these countries is equal. There is a perfect mobility of factor of production within countries. Transportation cost is completely ignored. The country's resources are equally divided to produce each goods before specialization. So there are some 3 theories under classical trade theory: theory of mercantilism, theory of absolute advantage, and theory of comparative advantage. So first let us see what is theory of mercantilism. So this theory speaks like any country should encourage export and the particular country should discourage import. The meaning is there should be more export compared to the import, and the country's wealth will be depends on the balance of export minus import. And also this theory sees if the country have abundant of gold, then uh, the country is wealthy. So this is about the theory of mercantilism. So next let us see the theory of absolute advantage. So if a foreign country can supply us with a cheaper commodity, then uh, we ourselves can make it or better buy it from them with some part of produce of our own industry. So let me explain this with an example. So under classical trade theories assumption, we had seen there will be only two countries and those two countries will be producing two goods, right? So here there is an example between two countries like country A and country B. So both the countries are producing tea and coffee. So both the countries are given with each 200 labors. So the country A can produce 1 unit of tea or 1 ton of tea with 100 labors. Whereas country B can give or produce 1 unit of tea with 25 labors. And country A can give 1 unit of coffee with 20 labors, and country B can produce 1 unit of coffee with only 5 labors. So with employing 10 labors for producing 1 unit of tea, the country A can manufacture or produce 10 tons of tea at the end, whereas the country B can give only 4 units of or 4 tons of tea. Then the country A can give 5 units of or 5 tons of coffee, whereas country B can give 20 tons of coffee. So in turn, totally we are ending up with 39 tons of total products. But if we look into if we in order to have absolute advantage, the company or the country A is employing all the labors to produce tea. So ultimately they are ending up with 20 tons of tea, whereas country B is employing 200 labors to produce coffee. So at the end they are ending up with 40 tons of coffee. So to the end we are getting 60 tons of both tea and coffee. Before having absolute advantage, only 39 tons were produced, but after it we are getting 60 tons of tea and coffee, so that the country which can produce in a cheap manner can give it to the other country. So this is about the country, the thing about the absolute advantage. So next theory is theory of comparative advantage. So this theory assumes that labor is the only factor of production in two countries, and they ignore transportation cost, and there is no trade barriers within these countries. So as per the classical trade theory's assumption, there are only two countries with two goods. So each country is provided with 100 labors for producing wheat, and 100 labor is used for producing wine. So with 100 labors, country X can produce 20 units of wheat. With another set of 100 labors, country X can produce 40 units of wine. Whereas country Y can produce 50 units of wheat with 100 labors, and 10 units of wine with 100 labors. So in order to have a comparative advantage, the country X is employing 150 laborers to produce 60 units of wine, and country Y is employing all the 200 laborers to produce 30 units of wheat. So ultimately what they do is, at the end, the 14 units will be shared among both the countries for each product. So the country X have produced 60 units of wine. From that, 14 units will be shared to country Y, and the country Y have produced 30 units of wheat. From that, 14 units will be shared to the country X. So ultimately, the country X is getting 24 units of wheat and 46 units of wine. The country Y will be getting 16 units of wheat and 14 units of 16 units of wheat and 14 units of wine. Thank you.